Hello everybody, I Shreeya Katyal welcome you all to today's talk. So today we are at Satya Sai Auditorium where we have the Convocation 2018 of Asian Business School, where the special guests are Miss Emmy, Director of Public Policy and Communication, Uber. So now let's talk to Miss Amy and know about the real world. So first of all, ma'am, you share your journey. Like, how did you begin?
So I started my degree actually very much at the hands of my Australian government. I was a scholarship baby, meaning that all of my education is through scholarships. And I was very fortunate to be able to have a government that was very enthusiastic about encouraging Australians to go overseas. And so most of my degree has been I did my undergraduate degree I did in 4 different countries, all around Asia. So I started in Australia, and then I went to Japan, and then I went to mainland China, and then I finished in Thailand. What I would say about what that journey taught me, when you go to places that are not your home country and you are kind of thrown into an environment where you have to adjust, it teaches you a lot about what you can live with and what you can live without. And it teaches you, I think, a really critical skill that you need in the business world as much as you need in education, and that's resilience. Exactly. You need to be somebody who has, the ability to adapt to things. You need to be able to, kind of find challenges and say, you know what, I don't know how this is going to work out, but I'm going to do my best, I'm going to try. And I found that from a career perspective, once you go down a path of saying, I'm going to pursue this and I'm going to do it with excellence, doors open, the work speaks for you. And I think if you are willing to put the effort into the work, and you're willing to let the work be your ambassador, not so much that you have to be the person promoting your work, but that you are putting in the time, you're putting in the effort, and you're committed to the task that you're doing. And if you do things with excellence, I think that comes back to you very clearly.
True, that means that to work for a cause and automatically you're going to get applause, right? So, and one thing you taught us that be like water, go with the flow, change the shape in whichever container you have put, you have to be adaptable if you want to succeed, right?
Yeah.
So now I would like to know that since like you have a tremendous experience, right, you must have faced some of the challenges in life. So what is the mantra to overcome such challenges and bounce back?
Wow, a mantra for challenges. Well, I would tell you actually that I think challenges have been a pretty consistent theme in my career, but I also will say that my husband says this to me all the time, the harder it is, the happier I am. So I'm someone that actually doesn't run from challenges. I like them. I kind of seek them out because I find that the best experiences that I've had for professional growth, even for personal development, have come from being in difficult situations, from being stretched in very uncomfortable ways. But that's also where your growth comes from. When you're in a situation where, to your point, you're out of your comfort zone, I think it forces you to think differently. And if you're thinking differently, you like to act differently. And what happens when you do that is sometimes you even surprise yourself. You see that you can overcome a situation or that you can find a creative solution for it. So for me, problem solving and working through challenges is actually one of the best things about my job. So I would say if you are facing challenges professionally, dig in, don't shy away from it, lean into it, because you're going to learn something and it's going to make you better.
That's true. Nothing grows in comfort zone, right? And I must say that you have really optimistic approach towards life. That makes you glow, that looks on your face as well. Okay, so last question is that how important is communication in today's era?
So I think your ability to help people understand what you think is incredibly important. If you're in a situation where you can't be clear with people, you can't be direct with them, you can't make your arguments, you can't potentially influence or change people's points of view, I think it puts you at a disadvantage for being able to move not only from a position of being a leader of self, responsible for your own work, but being a leader of others and having direct reports and building teams and building organizations. So while I'm biased in this because it's a large part of what I do every day, I think that we are all communicators. We all have the ability to deliver a message. In some ways we're all storytellers by the examples that we share with people. But you need to be somebody who, when people are listening to you, you have their attention. You need to be somebody who, when you're asking questions, when you are challenging someone, you have the ability to do so from a place of mutual trust and respect. It's not about grandstanding, about being the loudest voice in the room. If you're not an extrovert, if you're not someone who feels very confident with your English, prepare, practice. Start with people that you feel safe with, but everyone has the ability to flex this particular skill and get better at using it. But I do think it's very critical for your success.
Indeed, very enlightening and very correct, you said. It's very true that you need to be presentable, you need to be clear about your ideas, and you should have the power to influence people if you are right. So thanks for sharing your valuable experience, your views, your knowledge, in sprinkling so much of enlightenment on us. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.